I ask my colleagues to join together to pass the supplemental today as expeditiously as possible, send our friends abroad the aid they have long been waiting for. Let us not delay this. Let us not prolong this. Let us not keep our friends around the world waiting for a moment longer.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is urging his colleagues to vote on a foreign aid package. He made those remarks we heard on the Senate floor earlier today after the House on Saturday approved billions of dollars in aid to Israel, Ukraine, and allies in the Indo-Pacific, including Taiwan. This legislation is expected to pass in the Senate with bipartisan support. And to get into all of this and more is CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion from Capitol Hill. Nikole, so when should we expect a vote?
Well, the Senate seems to be on track to move relatively quickly here. We're expecting some votes early this afternoon, and it's possible this could all get done as soon as tonight, if not certainly by Wednesday. We do expect some senators to introduce amendments, most notably Senator Bernie Sanders, who just a short time ago spoke on the Senate floor, saying that he is opposed to giving more military aid or unfettered military aid to Israel based on his concerns about its handling of the war with Hamas and more specifically the situation on the ground with respect to Gaza. So that is something he plans to put forth in terms of an amendment. But there are other senators as well who may try to latch on additional proposals. That is still not expected to inhibit the passage, the final passage of this package. And also we are keeping a close eye on this fourth component of this legislation, which also includes a potential ban on TikTok, something that has divided senators here on Capitol Hill, although it seems more likely than not that it could potentially go through this time. Lilia.
Nikole, this is one of multiple bills that have not had overwhelming Republican support in the House, and yet they made it here. We have been following Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene's threats to oust Speaker Johnson precisely because of this and other votes. So because of working with Democrats, now former President Donald Trump is coming to Johnson's defense. What's next on that, and do you see her pursuing her efforts to oust him?
Yeah, well, just to be clear, that House vote, even though there was a split among House Republicans, was bipartisan in nature, as was the Senate vote for this national security supplemental just a few months ago when the Senate passed a similar package bundled together. In essence, they will be voting on a revamped version of this. And once again, we do expect bipartisan support. But look, the divide with respect to Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene and her efforts to move forward potentially with this motion to vacate are pretty deep-seated. It goes well beyond providing assistance to Ukraine. This goes back to how she feels the speaker mishandled the situation with respect to government funding. Of course, there continues to be a rift among some House Republicans that Speaker Johnson, kind of ultimately had to rely on Democratic votes to pass those broader appropriations packages, that they should have been slimmed down, that they should have contained more GOP priorities. There's still a huge frustration on the part of many Republicans that they haven't been able to advance more with respect to border security beyond a bill that was passed several months ago. We saw them try to do it again this past weekend and were unsuccessful. So, this is, more than just this piece of legislation or that piece of legislation. It is how the speaker has handled himself overall. But again, whether or not there will be that momentum when the House returns to advance this motion to vacate still remains to be seen.
Nikole, thank you.